So gold has reached a interesting stage in terms of price action. Over the past 2-3 months, we've had a breakout to the upside, but it did not manage to break through and form all-time highs, which in itself is a sign that all-time highs are going to be made quite soon. But so far, as you can see, we've had a massive rejection candle off the 2070 key level, which was the previous all-time high, and we are currently heading down, as it seems. However, on the short term, yes, it could drop even lower. Actually, it most likely will drop towards 1875, then 1850 even, maybe even 1830. If I mark up these levels, this area here, this area here, and this area here, all areas where price could retest. However, in the long term, I believe that gold is definitely more towards the bullish side. And whilst I was doing some back testing, I came across a bit of price action which nearly mirrors what is happening currently, which was during 2009 from February. So if I go down to the weekly chart, as you can see, price had made an all-time high, consolidated lower, headed higher, as we have seen in the past few months. As it headed higher, it never broke all-time highs, got rejected, spent the next few weeks, I think it was 2 months, consolidating, and dropped, actually if we use the fib, it dropped 38 to the 38.2% fib, consolidated for the next few months, and then began to break all-time highs slowly and rocketed up to 1900 from $1,000, which was a massive rally of nearly 100%. So if we apply the same logic to where we are currently, if we get the Fibonacci, okay, so the 32.8 has already been retested, so it's not likely that we will see that. However, I'm definitely targeting it. Previously it was 1850 that I was targeting, which was this area of support here, but I'm currently leaning towards 1830 being retested towards the 61.8% zone, which would be potentially this area here. So maybe retest even this level at 1814. This would be a very good entry. So yes, so in terms of gold, where it could drop to, I've highlighted where it could drop to, could be 1875, 1850 or 1830 or even 1814. But after that, we can expect to see price action to look something along the lines of this, perhaps just consolidating along these levels and slowly grinding back up, then possibly back down, then up, until it slowly begins to break out. Now, with the current fundamentals, the main factors that are putting a roof on the price of gold is the current bond yields, especially the 10-year, which have flown in the past few months. As you can see, we've broke out of a 30-year long downtrend, and price is breaking through. Obviously, if bond yields are higher, then people would not be tempted to buy gold because the interest rates on 10-year bonds would be more desirable. So people would move their money into them, whereas gold is a non-yielding product. However, any events in Russia would also put a floor on the price of gold, where it could bottom out. And the main concern, or the main thing I'm paying attention to, is any slip-ups in the Fed's way of dealing with their monetary policy in the next few months, in terms of hiking interest rates too quickly, or even not hiking them fast enough. So you have to watch the equity markets closely to see if there's a chance of, any market turmoil, which would result in the price of gold actually dropping in the very short term, but rocketing in the long term. So yes, you can expect it. I would say by the end of the year, if I go back to that zone down there, it took nearly half a year for price to break out back then. So conservatively, I'd say by the end of the year we should definitely see, not definitely, but highly likely see all-time highs broken. And if we are able to capitalize along these levels down here, I'll go back to the other gold chart, along these levels here, then we'll look to buy and hold, possibly even for the long term, where targets could be, even price discovery targets could be 2,300, and I think my long-term projection was 2,700 for the next commodity super cycle, or whatever you want to call it. So yes, that's it from me. Obviously this would also correlate with oil. Oil currently could potentially come and retest these levels, $75 potentially, and then in my opinion should head to the upside as inflation probably will continue to get worse. So yes, that's my take on gold.